This is the Death Adder Metal-Stortion. It's metal, it's brutal, it's a snake biting you in the face. I don't know how else to say it, it's just freaking awesome. For controls, you've got low, scoop, and high. Low and high are self-explanatory. Scoop, well, scoops out your mid-range, but it also boosts mid-range when you turn it up, so it's not just a scooped monster, it's also a mid-rangey, heavy monster. Venom is your volume, and attack is your distortion. So what do you say we crack some skulls? First, I'm going to start off with an EMG-loaded Les Paul through a very clean amp to show how much this pedal just takes over. So let's go with a classic metal tone, maybe a 70s metal tone. First, here's the amp by itself. And the Death Adder. Then if we crank up the attack, we get more of an earlier, tight Metallica tone. Now, if Ride the Lightning's not for you and you much prefer Injustice for All, you can scoop those mids right out here and get that late 80s crazy scooped metal tone. Here's the amp by itself. Here's the Death Adder. So now I switch over to the Marshall with the Flying V with standard humbuckers, and we're going to go for a drop-tuned, heavier metal distortion. Here's the amp by itself. And here's the Death Adder. Now if you crank up the attack for even more saturation, the Death Adder stays articulate and tight for both fast shredding and slow, trudging, heavy metal. Now to show that the Death Adder can make just about any rig more brutal, we switched over to a tweed fender and a Strat style with a bridge position single coil. Pretty clear, pretty bright, and not aggressive at all, but we have the Death Adder for that. Here's the amp by itself. And here's a heavy crunch tone. And let's get heavier. And even heavier. one of the coolest things about the Death Adder is the Venom control. Let's say you have a really nice, clean amp that never really gets quiet, and, you know, kids are upstairs sleeping, mom's yelling at you, whatever it is, but you can't shred at high volume. But you want your tone. So what you do, turn your Venom back. Turn it back a little bit, turn it back a lot. What you get is your tone at a quieter volume. Living room volume, bedroom volume, whatever it is. It sounds like the Death Adder, but no one else can hear you. It makes any amp the ultimate metal practice amp. So there you have it, the Death Adder. Oh, and remember, just like the rest of my line, the Death Adder and all Reptile Series pedals are 100% hand-built in-house by me. I don't farm stuff out.